Fox News better get their legal team working on probably the most generous settlement offer they can imagine to stop the bleeding that is happening from the continuous court filings from Dominion voting systems. On Tuesday, we got a taste of a whole new set of internal communications between Fox News executives and the owner of Fox News, Rupert Murdoch. And these new revelations, in my opinion, are probably the final nail in Fox News's coffin. Here's why. In this filing that happened this week, they talked about the deposition of Rupert Murdoch himself. And in this deposition, Murdoch, even though a lot of people are focused on he said that some Fox News hosts bought into it, that's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. The issue was that Rupert Murdoch and Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott had been deliberating for months after the 2020 election on whether or not to force the hosts on the network to go on the air and call out Donald Trump's election lies. The very same election lies that the network had allowed to spread. Suzanne Scott, the CEO, Rupert Murdoch, the owner, and members of the board, which included former Representative Paul Ryan, wanted those same hosts to go on the air and admit that it all was a farce and the election was not stolen. Ultimately, they decided not to do it. And it is that decision right there, the decision to not make these hosts go on the air and admit that none of it was true, that's the final nail in that coffin. You can't walk away from that. You cannot successfully defend yourselves in this defamation lawsuit when it's now on the record that the executives, the owner, knew you were lying, wanted to talk to you about lying, and then decided, you know what, we're not going to do it. That shows, in my opinion, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I know a hell of a lot about the law. That, to me, shows actual malice. You know your hosts are lying. You know you have the power to do something about it. You make the conscious decision to not do anything about it. Dominion just won their case. Now, I did read one article. It was on Raw Story. And a legal expert with one of the cable news networks says, do not consider this the final nail in the coffin. Which I thought was funny because I specifically, before I saw that, said this is the final nail in the coffin. He said, do not consider it the final nail in the coffin because there's holes in Rupert Murdoch's testimony because he said some of the hosts may have bought into the election lies. And that's why I said, ignore that part because that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant if you are paying attention to the meat of it, which is that the network executives knew these hosts were lying. The owner knew the hosts were lying. The board members knew the hosts were lying. They all got together in a meeting to make a decision about whether or not to force the hosts to say that these were lies. By deciding not to have the host dispel the lies, you allowed the lies to spread. You caused the damage that Dominion says you caused. You lost your case right there. It doesn't matter that there's holes in the other part of the testimony that could leave some wiggle room for the defense. That doesn't matter because this part already sealed the deal. So if you're only looking at little tiny pieces here and there, you could say, well, that's not what you think it is. No, but this one is. By the way, you also need to prove that they did it for financial gain, and Rupert Murdoch admitted that they didn't want to kick people like Mike Lindell off the network because they wanted his advertising dollars. So they did it for financial gain. They consciously made the decision to allow the lies to spread. There is zero chance in hell they can win this lawsuit, in my opinion. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.